Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, collection review for Charles. Charles writes me, hi Uptick. First of all, I would like to say that me and my wife, we love very much your channel due to the fact that you don't talk only about Rolex like other channels. The variety of brands you choose is good. I'm a fan of Longer and Zerner, Zenith, Tudor, as you do. And last but not least, bonjour mes amis, hi guys, the intro. Well, thank you Charles, and most of all, thank you to your wife for following the channel as well. We always feel like we're between dudes here on the channel, but hopefully quite a few ladies are watching, and we will participate a bit more and send me their collections as well to review. So I go on with the email. My name is Charles. I'm 33 years old, engineer based in Zurich in Switzerland. You know, guys, I'm from Belgium, and when I was living there, I didn't travel enough. I never went to Switzerland, actually, which is kind of weird now. I would love to go. It's such a beautiful country. Moving on. Everything started when I was a kid. Well, everything starts when you're a kid. It happens to me as well. My grandfather was wearing his watch. I liked it very much, and I asked him if I can get it. He took his watch away from his wrist and put it on mine. Me and my grandfather, we live apart in different countries. We are very close, but we don't see each other often. Last year, I had the chance to visit him, and I was wearing my Longines Saint-Imier. This time, I took my watch away from my wrist and put it on his, in a sense of thank you, Grandpa, for giving me your watch many years ago. Very cool. Since then, I wanted a new watch, and at the same time, I achieved pretty good goals in my career, so I wanted to reward myself for the accomplishments. I was looking for watches all day, every day, and one day I saw the Zenith A384 revival on Instagram, and I was blown away. I told myself, this is the watch, and I want it. And a week later, I purchased two watches, a Zenith A384 revival and the Zenith Defy Classic. I was lucky that I got the 50th anniversary edition of the A384. So since that day, I was obsessed with Zenith. Such a brand, such quality, such products. People should give more credits and pay more attention to the brand. I was especially obsessed with the A384 alike watches, the 37mm tonneau shaped. After that, I started to hunt some limited editions pieces, and I got the A384 Liberty shipped to me from USA. Later, I saw the cover girl. It was so beautiful, and I wanted it so badly. I saw the interview of Revolution magazine talking about the revival of this watch in a limited quantity of 100 pieces, and I started to hunt it insanely. Searched for long months, every day, so difficult to find, and none was available. Finally, one day, someone from Germany posted online an unworn piece. I contacted him immediately and reserved the watch. In the beginning, the person rejected my offer because he thought it was a scam, simply because he sold the watch less than 5 minutes after posting online. It was a mission for me. It was during the pandemic lockdown. Crossing the border was almost impossible, but I made it. I sneaked into Germany. At 2 in the morning, I drove 1,400 kilometers in 14 hours on the same day, crossing the border, picked up the watch, and back to Switzerland. It was insane, but totally worth it. If I can, I would collect all 10 variations of the 37mm tonneau-shaped watches. Lupin 1 is in my target, but very difficult to get. Now I want to move to other brands. Want to move forward, want to enter in the world of Rolex, and since they are difficult to get from the AD, I purchased the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue, while the Rolex are sitting in the waiting list. Later I want some APs, Pateks, Longers, etc. For the time being, I'm happy with my collection. I have some other pieces like the Tissot Lelocle, Rado R5.5 and a Seiko 5 that I purchased from Dubai. I wear them from time to time, but not so often anymore. I will keep them and I will not discard them from the collection. I've sent you the pictures. The photos of the Liberty that I've sent you are from Hodinky. The watch is still sealed, so I couldn't take pictures. All others were taken by me. Let me know if the content is enough, or should I add something more. all good. And actually, no specific further question from Charles. Charles, thank you for those beautiful, mysterious pictures. It really gives a great vibe to this collection and this collection review indeed. So let's backtrack a little bit into this collection. First of all, how lovely to have a nice watch-related memory with your grandpa. I don't remember having any such memory myself. It's a very lovely gesture on your part. Now, it's great that you found the thing that you love. The Zenith A384 Revival. So it's the copycat, the reissue of the original Zenith El Primero. I had the same watch. I bought it almost on the day it came out. I had it on the black strap, and then I bought the Gay Frere bracelet, the ladder bracelet. And yeah, as you say, it is such a unique watch, and it is what I call a cool watch. You know, there are many watches in my collection, many watches in the world, and many watches we talk about every day, but they're not necessarily cool. Cool is also the way you wear them, but some watches are just born cool, like the Reverso, for example. Right now in my collection, my cool watches would be my Reverso Grand Sport, because it's just so unique, so much personality, and at the same time it does everything I need a watch to do. And at Zenith, with this original tonneau shaped case, the great attention to the brushing and the polishing, beautiful dial, the nicely shaped crystal, and that bracelet to complete it. It's just a cool watch, and when you see yourself in a watch like that and it's the model for you, then it's just a match made in heaven. Now it looks like you got a bit carried away. You loved it, so you had to have two more and looking for a third. Maybe you're rushing things a little bit. I felt the same for some other watches. I almost wanted to buy two of the same sometimes, just to save one, make sure I would always have one in good running order, or wanted to have two colors. For example, I got both the Black Bay 58s, the black and the blue. Now I would like to have the bronze. And then sometimes, I backtrack. I sold the blue because I realized it's just too much. I can't enjoy everything, and I want to buy other things. And as you say, you're going to move on to other things. So maybe don't get too carried away buying too many of the same thing, because you'll have too much money tied up. But if it's your thing, it's your thing, and I really can't condemn anyone from collecting one thing very specific that they like, one model in different iterations. But at the end of the day, inside it's very much the same, and you could almost, like as Zenith, to just have the different dial and hands to swap them around. So the one from Hodinkee, I didn't know that one actually. It's very cool. I like that second hand of the chronograph with the red and the white alternating. It makes me think of the Tintin rocket, that you see also on the Tintin Speedmaster. It's a pretty cool. It's a very racing type of look. And your other one, the other blue, is the yin and the yang, of course, with this. Also very good looking, maybe the best in between. But I would like to see the Hodinkee one on the bracelet, whichever of the three. Now you get at the same time as the A384, you get the Zenith Defy Classic, which I love in all the iterations, whether you get the full dial or the skeletonized dial, the ones in alternative metals. I think yours would be titanium. They have some in ceramic with the rubber straps. I love those. They weigh nothing. They have the skeletonized ones, which are very cool, and it's the other family of the Zenith movements, the Elite, I think it's called, very complementary to the El Primero, the classic chronograph. Again, maybe you get a bit too carried away, but I do like the Defy Classic, and it's a great look, the integrated bracelet look. and I think the two are very complementary. And why not? Why not be a fan of Zenith? And I wish Zenith would do a dual time zone or world timer in that great smaller format that they do so well, under 40 millimeters. I think that would look fantastic to expand your collection, and I would prefer you buy that rather than buying another A384. But again, if that's your thing, why not? But just think of the future and collections. It gets a bit out of hand very quickly, and so far you've kept it really tidy. And you can always sell the ones that you don't want to keep, but you're gonna take a pretty you're gonna take a pretty nasty fall there if you try to resell the Zenith A384s, because right after the one that made the first one, the Panda, that shocked everyone, right away they came up with 2-3 different colors. So it really killed the resale. When I resold mine, I lost quite a bit of money, even though I had 15% off. You want to buy those watches 30% off, really, not to take too much of a dive. Next, difficult to get into the Rolex family right now. It's really hard to build a collection right now because I love Rolex so much. I mean, you tell me that I'd speak about other brands, but I do think about Rolex so much. It's the brand that I enjoy the most. I just love the format, the size, the style of the cases, everything. It's just the best watches for me. They're very practical watches. The Tudor Black Bay 58, you can't go wrong. And the blue that you got, it goes so well with your collection. I mean, your thing is blue. And again, why not? Why should everyone have a bunch of different colors, tick all sorts of boxes that don't mean anything? Instead, you found something that's meaningful to you, the color that's meaningful to you, the sort of size, format that is good for you. And I really like that, and I love the story about the way you went to Germany, by the way, to get that limited edition Zenith. Again, it's great to create a collection and have those sneaky James Bond type of stories behind them. So far you have those watches, the Tissot, the Rado. I think those you will pass on to a kid, a little nephew, a younger member of the family eventually. They don't really look that good now compared to the new pieces that you've purchased, but they're all right. If you like them. But I think over time, as you grow your collection, maybe you can just pass on the love like your grandpa did with you. The Seiko 5 is quite cool. Everybody's got to have a Seiko 5, and having one from Dubai with those Arabic fonts, I think that's extremely cool. And you've kept it tidy, not too many other things, so that's good. So where are we going from here? You're talking Rolex, talking AP, Patek longer. Well, you can never go wrong, of course, if you have the money. But again, right now we're at such a bizarre time in the watch collecting. It's so difficult to get anything. Even the new Zenith Chronomaster Sport has become difficult to get here in Hong Kong. You have to pay 50% upfront and pay full retail. I got mine at a great discount, and so happy, but right away everything was snatched up. So the hobby has grown so much. There's big demand for everything. There's a bit too much money going around, and people may be buying too many watches. I sure have bought too many watches, and now I'm questioning myself if I shouldn't be editing myself to enjoy more, just a bit less pieces. So my first advice would be to grow the collection slowly, maybe slow down on the A384 train, because it's a hit for them, so they're gonna come up with more and more. I just pick one of them. Maybe the Hodinkee is the coolest, but I like the other two as well. I think I prefer the blue dials. It really works so great in your collection. Now, so difficult until the whole global market crash, and which could happen. Inflation is really high. China has power, and Britain has energy issues. China has a 300 billion property developer. issue as well. They can't pay back their debt. So all this could collapse, and you will see the market, and especially the brands that are not Rolex, crashing down really, really quickly. So careful with the brands which were soft before 2-3 years ago. They will become very soft very quickly. And even Rolex, I think there's a big glut on offer and on the second-hand market, and that could come off very quickly as well. But in the meantime, what would be great to add to this collection? I would stop there with the Zenith thing. If I was to choose one, as I said, one of the blue dials, then I like the DeFi. I like it very much. I would keep for sure the Tudor Black Bay 58. Those three were great. You have the chronograph with date. You have the diver, and then you have an everyday classy integrated bracelet with the DeFi. What would be pretty cool to add and doesn't cost crazy amount of money would be, for example, a Jaeger-LeCoultre master control. If you can find still maybe the sector dial with all the blue accents, that would be the yin and the yang with the rest of your collection. A bit less blue, a bit more white popping out, and I would get the geographic one with the classic complication from Jaeger, this presentation of the different time zones, and they even have the winter time display on it, which is something I like. I think some world timers which don't have that, or not even a different color for the cities, which are not going to be on time half of the year, I think to me that's a bit of a drag to have that on your watch. So that one, Jaeger-LeCoultre, to add something a bit more a bit more dressy while staying a fairly sporty type of model, especially the one with the sector dial. I think that one would go wonderfully in your collection. Now, if we go Rolex, obviously when you think blue, when you think complication, especially adding a time zone complication to complete a bit your collection there. Obviously, do I need to say it? I think that the Pepsi would be quite amazing. You could look at the vintage one, if you want to save 50% compared to where the current Pepsi is going. Maybe you could look at a vintage one, mid 2000s. It's not that old and it's still in good condition, and it will be smaller on the wrist and work better with your collection. But of course, if you can get the current Pepsi, obviously it's a no-brainer, and it almost clashes with your collection. I quite like this look that you've gone for. So not really necessary to add that Rolex in Rolex world in the smaller sizes. Well, you're going to the 9mm Explorer, but again, then you lose the fun of the blue. I like the idea of keeping a bit of a thread in your collection for once, instead of having like everybody all the different colors in the of the rainbow. Why not sticking to blue, white, touches of red? I think that has a great look of its own. Now, when you go with those colors, it's pretty easy to find them with AP. Obviously, it's got to be the Royal Oak. In Patek as well. Patek, then you have a nice choice if you go for the annual calendars or the different Calatravas, or if you can, of course, go for a chronograph. Again, you can find a bit of blue as much as you want, and same with longer. I think longer, the 1815 would be amazing with the white dial, touches of blue as well, or look for an up-down 1815. That would be nice to have a power reserve, and again a classy watch. I'm not sure if you want to go for a dress watch, because after all, the A384 is a perfect watch. It can be dressy, it can be sporty, it is both, and the DeFi Classic as well, and hell, even the Tudor Black Bay 58. It's just so fresh, that blue color. It's a very simple color that marries with everything. Blue, it is the ultimate color. I love it because it just marries with everything. That's why it would be a good idea to keep with it. Look, don't need, I think, to recommend you every model from a longer Patek, Vacheron, you know, like the Vacheron Corne de Vache. Again, do you need a very complex chronograph? Those are very expensive watches, and you can never go wrong buying any of those. If you can get a Royal Oak, get a Royal Oak. If you can get a Rolex Pepsi, get a Rolex Pepsi. The thing is, you've made some very good choices. I really like where you've been, and you don't want something that overpowers it. That's why Rolex might be a bit of a problem for me. I think Jaeger LeCoultre would be, to me, the way to go, because it doesn't overpower. It complements a bit better the choices that you've done so far, and it's still a very beautiful watch, a complication that they do in a different way than everybody else. So it is, I think, significant, and maybe to me that would be the next step. But guys, watching this, let me know what you think in the comments. Any good recommendation for our friend Charles? All I can say, Charles, very cool to have someone who found something different. I like that you love the A384. It's a very special watch, very nice. You know, I kind of miss it. It was a very cool watch, but you know, I went for reversal. It was a bit too close, and also I had two other Zenith. Sometimes you get to edit yourself, so keep that in mind. Don't go too far. Don't rush too much. The resale will be very difficult for those Zenith models, but who knows, maybe in 20 years they'll be hot like a Paul Newman Daytona. Who knows where Zenith is going, and those watches maybe it will be the grand classic of the future. All right, enough rambling, I think. Thank you, Charles. Keep it up. All the best. Let us know where you go next, which watch you add to your collection. Thank you guys for watching. Give Charles's collection a like, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye bye. Au revoir.